My camera died because I didn't bring a battery like I should.
Okay.
I'm so glad that you brought me here. This was so fun. Thank you, Dad. Can you think of any other stories that you like to share? You shared some of my...
Funny thing happened to me on my way to the bank today. I saw a chicken cross the road. Why did the chicken cross the road? He was lost. I don't know.
I was sharing with someone just yesterday how I think the only reason why, Kelly and I are not totally, off the reservation from the different, decisions that we made and different crazy things that happened, but it's because we went to the temple every single week for, it's been 20 years, right? It's cool.
Wonderful.
And I know that different sacrifices that you made and teaching us to have self-control and it's so much more than that. It's not just, like, I feel like that term is thrown around a lot, like, have some self-control. Like, you taught us that our minds and our brains were a gift from God and that we can use that gift to be as happy or as productive, as successful, as happy as we want to be. And that is truly powerful and empowering, and like that is what has gotten me through so many different things, and also just your wonderful sense of humor. And I think my sense of humor that has come from you, like some people love it and some people I think are like, what? Did she really just say that?
Yeah.
But for the most part, like people really enjoy it, or and obnoxious enough that they eventually laugh, which you've experienced people being too serious too, but yeah, just being able to be lighthearted about things and not taking things too seriously, because if things are difficult or traumatic, like it's a coping mechanism, and it's healthy to be able to find the joy and the opportunities to laugh. And yeah, that's just been very helpful. And I know I've shared that with you before, but
It's really sweet.
yeah, it's just been awesome.
Well, we have incredible, there's so much capacity here, and we have bodies, if we just take care of them, we can live for decades longer than if we don't.
Yeah.
So we need to be, we are all born to be special. We all have our own special laugh, our own DNA, our own smile, but we all have our own quirky little things that if we cultivate it, we can be the best in the world at that one thing, whatever it is for each of us. And if we don't, just sit around and watch reruns of Gilligan's Island, then we'll grow up to be a bunch of mush, and we'll just fade away.
You don't like Gilligan's Island?
No.
No, yeah. But yeah, like if
We're supposed to help people and be a good example, and then they're supposed to go out and do stuff, and we're supposed to continue to go and not just sit around and take up space.
That's right. I love that, Dad. And as we are improving on our different talents, and we'll find more talents and we'll improve on that. And I feel like that is a huge stepping stone in our life, that if we recognize that we can improve our self-esteem, our happiness, our contentment by working on our talents and improving them and finding new talents to improve, when we find things that we don't like about ourselves and we can change, that is so empowering to us. It improves our self-esteem and really gives us a happiness that we otherwise wouldn't know, and a confidence, a self-confidence. So it's huge. It's really, really huge. But I think a lot of people are just so stuck in, this is what happened to me, or and so I need to kind of live out that trauma or live out that that awful event. I have to consistently live in that, and I can't move.
This was in February of 1966. Gerald Coffey was an American fighter pilot over Vietnam. He was shot down by the Viet Cong. They threw him into a hole and left him to die. What do you do when you're about to die? Gerald Coffey was a victim. Why me? It's not fair. I don't deserve this. Why do I have to die? Why me?
Well, and rightfully so. Like, anybody would feel
Yeah.
that way. Anyone?
And he realized that every time he said, "Why me? Why me?" It was like a
says more
punch
and
in the
more.
gut, and he was beginning to literally he was going to die if he kept saying these same things over and over again. And he realized that the only chance he had, as slim as it was to start asking positive questions. How can I survive? How can I become a better person? How can I get closer to God? And as impossible as the situation was, it immediately enlivened his arms and his legs, his brain. He started being creative, and he started to get into the business of survival. And he started to exercise. He went about, he developed a tap code on the wall so that he can communicate with the other isolated POWs with a 25-letter tap code. Anyway,
wow.
this went on for 7 years. 7 years until February of 73. The war was over, they were all released. On his way home, he said, "This was the greatest experience of my life." People think, "What? I wouldn't exchange this experience for anything." What? I got closer to God. I understood about the human spirit. He went on to a book called Beyond Survival, lectured thousands and inspired thousands with his lectures because he was no longer a victim, he was a victor. There were no longer obstacles, there were opportunities, and he made the most of it. And so the next time I get, oh, gee, what a bad day, I think of Gerald Coffey. I mean, nothing I've ever had has been as challenging and as awful as what he did. He did it for 7 years, and he made it into a positive. So we have no reason to feel sorry for ourselves. We can get this going, and we can be unstoppable in any situation.
That's awesome, Ben. That's awesome.
Well, I'm going to take you home.
Is it your bedtime?
Yes. My milk and cookies are about ready.
The nurse is putting out medications
Yeah,
right
really,
now.
the
so-
pills and everything.
Okay, I'll take you home, Dad. No, he's not really in a nursing home. He's not.
I
he just like to
escaped.
cheese.
I escaped from
That's
the
right.
nursing home.
That's right.